Welcome to online classes. Today we will start with lesson 7, memory units and generations. In this chapter, we'll talk about what is memory, its units, what is internal or external memory, different types and physical structure of the memory. Now, what do we say about memory? It remembers things that you have done in the past, your good or bad memories. The same way, memory of a computer system is just like a human brain. The memory is a storage space in computer where data to be processed and instructions required for processing are stored. We have read that computer is just a machine, right? And instructions are required to run this machine. Every instruction, every process that needs to be done in a machine has to be stored somewhere. This is where memory comes in. You want to start a process, you have to store some instructions: start, stop, click, everything. It can keep all the necessary data and operations for a computer to function. The memory is divided into large number of small parts called cells. Now, similar to human body, the memory, the smallest part are called cells. Each location or cell has a unique address. That is why computers cannot forget anything until and unless the cells are not damaged. Every memory unit, everything, every instruction that you hold onto a computer, it is specified to a specific location and it has a unique address. Memory units. This is very important for a basic memory. Memory capacity of a computer is amount of data that can be stored in the storage unit, which is equal to number of bytes. Now, what is memory capacity? It is the capacity of a computer to hold and store data in the form of bytes, B-Y-T-E-X. Always remember the basic unit of a computer is byte, B-Y-T-E. That can be stored in its storage unit. The storage capacity is expressed in terms of bytes. Following are the main memory storage units. Number 1, bit or a binary digit. A bit is nothing more than 0 and 1. You have switches at home, right? When you turn it on, it represents 1. When you turn it off, it represents 0. Similarly, a bit is just logical 0 and 1. Then nibble, a group of 4 bits. You have 4 bits together, that is called a nibble. Then byte, a group of 8 bits is called byte. Very important. When you download anything from on your PC, on your phone, the data is in the form of bytes or megabytes. In this generation, you have normally heard about bytes, megabytes or gigabytes or terabytes. This is the basically smallest unit which can represent a data item or a character. Word. A computer word is a group of fixed number of bits processed as a unit. Now, what is a word? A computer word is a group of fixed number of bits. Number of bits it represents. The length of a computer word is called word size or word length. Now, It may be as small as 8 bits, which is byte here, or as long as 96 bits. A computer stores the information in the form of computer words. This is how a user can read everything. Measuring units of computer memory. Bit, single digit binary 0 and 1, nibble 4 bits, byte 8 bits, then kilobytes, KB. 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. Always remember, it's not 1000 or normal SI units that you hold. 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. Similarly, 1 MB or 1 megabyte is 1024 kilobytes. Then we have gigabytes, terabytes and petabytes. Types of memory. Now, what are different types of memory? In this figure, you can see there are 3 arrows. This one is going up. This is representing as the memory is going in this direction, the speed of reading and writing increases. And there are 2 types: external memory, magnetic disk, optical disk, magnetic tape. They are called external memory. And then you have internal memory, main memory of a computer, cache memory and CPU registers. We'll talk about 2 main type of memories, internal and external. The internal memory, the instructions of a program. Now, whatever you are running on a computer, on your smartphone, and data need a place where work can be done on them. Correct? You need a computer to work. The CPU uses internal registers and cache memory for this purpose. The internal memory can further be divided into 2 categories: cache memory and primary memory. Now, cache memory is just temporary memory, where the data is stored temporarily. Primary memory is again divided into 2 parts: RAM and ROM. RAM is random access memory, and then ROM read-only memory. We'll talk about these afterwards when we find them in detail. Cache memory. Cache memory is a very high-speed semiconductor memory which can speed up CPU. On your smartphones or on your computers, you have something called cache memory. Cache memory is a type of memory that is stored temporarily on a certain semiconductor chip, a microchip that is inbuilt within your system. What it does is it buffers. It stores the main part, the main memory that the user uses a lot. It is used to hold up those parts of data and program which are most frequently used by the CPU. Now the CPU is, when you start a CPU, the most frequently parts are used from memory, right? What if you can increase that speed by adding a cache memory which can store the intermediate results, and it will speed up the data transfer. The parts of data and program are transferred from disk to cache memory by operating system, from where CPU can access them. Now, basically, advantages of cache memory is it's faster from the main memory, consumes less access time. Again, if it's faster, it will consume less time. It stores the program that can be executed within a short period of time. It stores data for temporary use. Disadvantages: cache memory has a very limited capacity and it is very expensive, as it is inbuilt in the chip system. That is why the hardware is expensive. That is the only reason it has limited capacity. Now we talk about main memory or the primary memory. Primary memory holds only those data and instructions on which computer is currently working. Please remember, on the memory is hold or data and instructions on which the computer is currently working. It has limited capacity and data is lost when the power is switched off. Imagine you're working on something or you have set of instructions that are there, temporarily there. When you switch off your phone, the temporary or cache memory will be deleted. It is generally made up of semiconductor devices. As you can see on this image, these are semiconductor devices. These memories are not as fast as registers. The data instructions required to be processed reside in main memory. Characteristics. These are semiconductor memories. It is usually volatile. Volatile means it's really unstable memory because data is lost in case of power. It is working memory of the computer, faster than secondary memories but slower than CPU registers. Secondary memories are the devices where you store your main data, but as it is working as an intermediate, it is way faster. Computer cannot run without primary memory. Two main categories are RAM and ROM. RAM basically is random access memory. Very important. What is the full form of RAM? Random access memory. It is the internal memory of the CPU for storing data, program and program results. It is read-write memory. What is RAM? It is read-write memory. It stores internal data. RAM is volatile memory. And what is volatile? Unstable. That means data stored in it is lost when the power is switched off. That is why, that is the only reason with computers you will find UPS, uninterruptible power system, with batteries or extra power or backup power, that the data that you're working on won't be lost. RAM is small both in terms of physical size and amount of data. Furthermore, RAM is of two types: SRAM, static RAM. The word static indicates, static means that is from one place to another. Memory retains its data as long as the power is being supplied. Very important. The data is stored as long as the power is supplied. So when you switch off the power, the data will be lost. SRAM chips use a matrix of 6 transistors. In the starting of the chapter, we talked about 0 and 1, right? When transistors work, the main capacity is basically 0 and 1, on or off. In SRAM, chips use matrix of 6 transistors and no capacitors. Transistors do not require power to prevent leakage, so SRAM need not to be refreshed regularly. When you are working on something, you need to refresh again and again so that the data will be updated. But not in case of SRAM. It has a long life. You don't need to refresh it. It's faster. It is used as a cache memory. It is larger in size and it is expensive and consumes very high power. DRAM. DRAM must be refreshed in order to maintain data. Correct? This is done by placing the memory on a refresh circuit that rewrites data several hundred times per second. DRAM is used for most system memory because it's cheap. The data has short lifetime. It needs to be refreshed continuously. It is slower than SRAM. It is used as RAM. Normally, we call it a RAM in a system. It is lesser in size, smaller. It is less expensive and it consumes less power. With DRAM, the first part of your chapter is complete. We'll talk about memories and contents in next video. Good day.